In this tutorial we will see how to create a hero section with an infinite scroll of what can be your projects, your work or other stuff. Of course we use Next.js, Gsap and vanilla CSS. I'm started building a super minimal hero section. I will wrap everything into a div with a class name of infinite scroll. And inside that there will be another div with a class name of infinite scroll fixed, and as you can probably guess, this div it will be positionally fixed. Inside there is a span and an h1 with the name of John Doe, but there you can put your name. Inside the fixed div there will be the contact where I put the email and LinkedIn. Now we can jump to the CSS, and I'm creating some variables, especially for the color and for the text. There will be three texts, one is big, medium and small. I'm changing the color of the body and I'm putting the Montserrat as the main font. Now starting the div containing the information, it will be always visible, so I'm setting it to fixed and I'm giving it the height of 100 viewport h and a width of 100%. I got a flexbox for centering the text vertically and justifying it on the left. I'm adding a wider letter spacing for all the span, and the span will be also very little. The h1 of course is more big and the font family is a bit more fancy. I'm also putting the mixed blend mode to difference. This will blend the color when something is behind. I'm putting the scale up. The contact should be all the way down and there should be space between. Now the hero is almost complete, we just need the projects, and I think the best solution is to create a separate file with a constant called projects, which is just an array of objects. And as you can notice, the last object is a perfect copy of the first one. We need it because as the users reach the bottom of the page, it will be immediately scrolled to the top. And if the user scroll to the top of the page, it will be immediately scrolled to the bottom. Putting this copy as the last element, we can have seamless transitions between the bottom and the top of the page. Now we just need to import the projects and just going to map through them. And we definitely need to style this section. I will start by bringing the infinite scroll and putting all the content to the right, or bringing the project wrapper and giving it a width of 43%, so it's almost the half. I'm also taking the image and picking the width of 100%, so it's fairly correct. Now using Flexbox, and I'm putting all the stuff to the right. I'm putting of course, the color white to the text. So I'm putting the mixed blend mode to difference also to the images. So I want the image to change color when they are above something. Now I'm just styling a bit the h2 and just making it uppercase, some font spacing and a bigger font size. And as a final touch, I want each project to take 100 viewport h, and I'm just centering all the stuff. Now the structure is fully complete and we just need to add an infinite scroll, and you'll be super surprised to see on how many lines of code we can achieve this. In this case, I'm selecting anything from the DOM and just creating an instance. So I'll call ScrollTrigger.create, and we want to start animation immediately, where 1 means that we will start 1 pixel in the top. We want the animation to start at the very end, so I'm just putting this max, which is a special stuff about ScrollTrigger. It means it will end the animation to the very bottom of the page. The leafback property, as the name kind of suggests, gets executed when the animations leave the viewport in the backward direction, so it's when the user scrolls up. This function will scroll the viewport to the second to last pixel before the bottom of the window, so in the very bottom of the page. And the other property on leave gets executed when the animation leaves the viewport in the forward direction, so when the user just scrolls down. And it will just scroll the page to the very top. This scroll method is there just because then we want the animation to start as soon as the component gets mounted. Of course we want to hide the scroll bar, and the animation is already working. I'm just putting two classes in the media query to make it a bit more pleasant to see on mobile.